They can't see you yet. Now they can.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
I'm just saying here.
Look at
Stacy,
me,
wave.
look at me.
Stacy, wave.
I am waving, dude.
Okay, good, great. All right, now
Yeah,
Fred,
can you
now
see?
Fred do it.
Hi.
Okay, cool.
Hi.
And then we have Steph,
Hi.
and then I don't know what Veronica's wearing, but there she is.
Clothing.
Well,
It's
that's
a Twi'lek. It's a
yeah.
Twi'lek cosplay.
she's
can't-
not
I can't
waving
be-
though.
I can't fucking deal with you guys right now. I'm trying to retweet.
You need to wait.
And then there's
God.
no obligatory Mike Lane wave.
Tweet not sent. Can't reply to a deleted tweet. Stacy!
How do you tweet?
You told me to delete it.
I don't understand.
Because I missed a level. I gotta go back.
I did. I had to put in a lot more
Listen to.
participles, adjectives.
I know.
I almost said verbs. I can English. Guys, in my defense, English is one of the hardest languages in the world, I guess.
It's true.
And I speak it kind of
That's
good.
fair.
Oh, speaking of this, I ate Thai food yesterday for lunch, and there was a lady in the booth behind me fucking slurping something and watching Hulu on a cell phone in a
No.
quiet goddamn restaurant.
No.
Oh, I was so mad. And Sam was just like, calm down. And I was like, can you hear it? And he was like, I can hear it. It's going to be all right. We're going to get through it. And then she finally asked for the check to leave. And I was like, thank God. I was so mad. I was so mad. And there's nothing you can do in this. No one can write this for you. Oh, it's the worst. All right, we ready? In 3, 2.
Oh shit! We went.
Hold on.
We,
You have to count
We're
down to 6.
professionals.
you have to count down from 6. Come on.
That's right.
Holy
Okay,
fuck!
sorry.
You can't go from a Thai story directly into 3, 2, 1 without any warning.
I was tweeting. It's very
just
important.
For the
There was
record,
nothing
I
else
was ready.
happening.
I was fully into that
I was
story.
also
I know.
ready.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
ready now.
I'm sorry, I'm the rookie in this one. Fuck.
In 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh no, I have to. That needs
What just happened?
She needs that hand to hit the record button.
You're not ambidextrous?
So what was going to happen is she was going to count down. We were all going to start, and she was going to not have it.
But you have to do it where we're like the 2's silent, and then you signal
Yeah.
with like the 1, right? The 1,
Except
and
you-
then go.
Except it can't be silent because she needs her hand.
I'll try and do it with my left hand. Ugh. Okay.
Okay.
In 6.
You're like punching
Wait,
the
do we
mic.
click? Are we supposed to click? I didn't hear click. You're supposed to say clicky. You have to say clicky.
I lost count with the left hand. It's hard.
Oh my lord. You guys just drinking the whole time?
Yes.
Well, you fucking took like an hour, Mike.
I know, I'm
You
sorry.
drank like 3 bottles.
Yeah.
Mike, we've been to GeeklyCon. We can do a lot of alcohol.
Oh, I
Drink
know.
water too. It's okay.
All right.
Okay.
In 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click.
It was very hard to take you seriously as you stared at me angrily with your outfit on.
She was staring at me angrily.
Oh.
No, she was staring
Oh.
at me. She was
I
obviously staring
thought
at
she
me.
was staring at me.
I'm pretty sure she was angry with me, guys. Come on.
Well, yeah, that's
Oh.
yeah.
See, I couldn't.
Yeah,
be
but she
angry
was
with
staring
you.
at me.
You've gone viral.
Oh, God.
You've made it, Stacey. You've made
No.
it. Now use this as a political platform.
Yeah.
Oh,
Announce that you're running for Congress.
hell no. I do not have the needed experience or whatever for that.
Have you
You have
taken
a
a
Twitter.
leadership
That's all that
class?
I
counts.
mean, that's fair, but I would like to not have my name added to the incompetency list.
Okay.
Alimony Tony.
Stacy's mom has got it going on.
Shh, that's all we can do. YouTube will get rid of us.
Oh, that's right.
Demonetized. Not that we're monetized, but demonetized anyway.
How are we going
Wait,
to pay
we're-
for all of our chocolate-covered almonds now?
Wait, we're demons now?
Yes.
Were we ever not?
Demonetized.
That's true.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cthulhu and Friends. I'm your game master, Veronica, and I'm so excited that you're here. Am I alone? Or is anyone out there?
It's me.
Ah!
Whoa. Sorry about that. It's Stacy, and I play Bellamy.
Oh, thank God it's just you. Okay.
Oh wait, no.
Oh
There's
my
also
Jesus Christ,
me.
there's more of you.
Yeah, I'm here and I'm playing Todd B.
I can handle two people. It's fine.
Hey,
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, there's more ghosties.
it's me. I'm Steph, and I'm playing Clara.
Wait, aren't you gonna just say something funny before I go? Like you can handle only 3 people, but not 4?
No, I can. I've got it ready.
What? That's disappointing. Like everybody got like a scared reaction, like there's ghosts. And of course, when Fred shows up, who plays Edward, you're not excited at all. I'm
Meh.
kind of sad.
Oh, hey, Fred.
Well, I don't want your pity hello. I mean,
Well, listen.
can you give me like a genuine like hi?
You know, I was going to give you a real good The Room style hand job, but what happened was you came in asking for the handsy. And I was like, nope, not going to happen now. I'm a woman in 2019, baby.
Story of my life.
Hey, isn't that a song? Stacy, could you sing
No.
that? Okay.
Doesn't it go like story of my life? Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, it goes exactly like
No,
that.
I think that's not. Yeah.
I think that's it.
That's
What is
it.
that? Flock
Yeah.
of seagulls?
We've upset 2 people with our references.
I'm sorry. I apologize to both people and all of the internet. Actually, most of the internet, not all.
Hmm.
So, Mike, what happened in the last step?
Last time on Cthulhu and Friends, I have stricken it from my memory. It was too horrifying.
No, it wasn't.
Oh yeah, oh,
It was pretty
definitely.
scary.
Episode 14 was totally chill.
Oh, that one, yeah,
Oh, though.
I thought it was chill.
yeah. It was.
Well, that makes
All right, it was
one of us.
chill. All right, sure. There you go. It
Listen.
was chill,
Listen, what happened
chillish.
is, let me describe this season to you. You're on the roller coaster and you did like the quick woo around, and then you did the and then we got up there and you're like, we've made a terrible mistake.
This is accurate.
Yeah, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, and so now we're just going into that one little turn, but it's into a cave, and you're like, I've never been on this ride before, and I don't know what to expect.
The cave's the scariest part.
It's the
It's
scary
dark.
Wait,
Really.
but which part of this ride are you, Veronica? Are you like the bar that's holding us in place?
No, I'm the 17-year-old in control of the controls
Oh god.
Ooh.
that either stop or start the ride for you.
I
It's much worse than you imagined.
Yeah.
You took this fairly benign
Yeah.
analog and now it's frightening. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how you did that. It's amazing.
Well, Mike,
Because she's V.
Because I'm a goddamn professional podcaster.
Apparently.
And you can support me and the rest of this crew on patreon.com. Patreon. So the last time we were here, you guys were in the library. Now, not all of you, just Clara and Edward.
Mm-hmm.
And the librarian says that you've been here before to St. Paxton, and that she's going to teach you, or show you, rather. What did she say? Who you were? What you were? When you were? It's not important.
She said, "Let me teach you your history."
Let me teach you your history. That's it. Not an indication of what's to come. Just a simple cough. That's going to be extraordinarily difficult for Hiroshi to edit, so I'll just do it again. So the last time that we left you, you were in the library, and the librarian says that you need to come with her. She's going to teach you your history, or show you your history. Whatever Steph said. The old woman very slowly begins walking to the bookshelves. And the bookshelves, it's not like a public library or anything where the bookshelves are metal or outdated or anything like that. These are all really heavy wooden shelves, very intricately carved. It looks like these have been here for maybe 100 years at least. Sorry. It would have been unusable audio anyways because there's a truck beside me. So there. God, I hate this state. So anyways, she leads you down between two of these very tall bookshelves. And the bookshelves are maybe a good 10, and in some areas 12 feet tall. And they're filled with really old books. And she takes you to an area that has a large iron gate in front of it. And she reaches in her pocket, and you notice that her pocket is not bulging at all. She just has a long cardigan sweater. And you hear this jangling and moving of items. It almost sounds like someone pushing their hand through a really big barrel of Legos and other assorted thingies. And then she pulls out a single key. She slips it into the lock, unlocks it, opens her pocket, and drops it in. I'm sorry, there was just a bug that flew in, and I was just making sure that it wasn't.
Like, what? Did you just drool on yourself? Like, what
I was thinking, this is an audio medium. They're not going to.
There's a tiny little fruit fly in there, and it keeps on like flying right into my mouth. Or not into, but like right towards my mouth. And she opens the gate, and it makes this like sound. And she walks through the gate, and she holds the iron bars open for you. Bellamy. Where are you guys at? I totally forgot where you guys were.
We were at the lab.
Okay,
But we were
lab.
leaving because Beatrice was
test.
unloading a carriage. So we
Beatrice.
were,
There
we
was
were
some
heading to the
weird
library.
sexual innuendo.
I don't think it was an innuendo.
Or weird.
Let the record show. Okay, so you guys pass Beatrice unloading her items, and you're on your way to the library. Let me know what you do.
We get to the library.
Then we high five.
Yes.
You say nothing between point A and point B.
Probably not. I mean, I think
What do you think?
the last
What
thing
do you
I
think?
remembered was damn it, my brain is broken. Todd had said something about something else that was going on. My brain is dumb right now. Okay, so yeah, no, I don't think there's any banter. I mean, Bellamy is probably just thinking about the lab results and the new people and everything else and just getting to the library as fast as possible.
Mike, how are you feeling? Todd, how are you feeling?
Relieved that I don't have to prepare those samples.
You arrive at the library. High five. You walk in and you hear this really loud creaking sound. It sounds like an old gate.
Well, that's not ominous.
I look towards where the sound is emanating from.
You'd have to go into the library and like kind of look around because I mean it's not gonna be. It happens so quickly. You're not gonna be able to be like what and nose it out, you know. So you're just gonna like.
I guess
scan
we're not
the
gonna
aisles?
find them out here. Let's go. Let's go find these guys.
I follow behind Todd.
Todd, it doesn't take you very long, and you see an old woman with her arm extended, holding open an iron gate, and Edward and Clara just kind of walking into the gate.
Oh my god, was that your bones?
I'm sorry, what?
I smack Todd in the back.
What? Ah, gosh.
That is so rude. What's wrong with you? I'm so
Oh, she's
sorry,
holding a
ma'am.
gate. Oh.
Young man.
Yes. Did something cut out? Because you just said young man.
Oh,
It was just a long dramatic pause. She fell asleep. Young man.
I'm sorry. What I said was, hello, young man. And you said, yes.
Classic Todd.
So,
Hi, I'm Todd. How are you? Are you the librarian here?
she flashes her name tag at you, and you see librarian.
Ah, that would have been a great giveaway.
Hello, Bellamy.
Hello, ma'am.
Come along.
Oh, did you already meet?
We've all met before.
Sorry. I don't think that's true. I think that we would remember.
Oh, you were on the ferry, right? I might have been standing in the way of your picture. I'm sorry about that.
She begins letting the gate close. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say that again because Dickwad with his dick truck is
I
on
hear
the
him.
dick.
A lot of dick going on.
Man.
She allows the gate to begin to close.
I will try to get to the other side of the gate before it closes.
Oh, now you want to come. Okay. And she pushes the gate back open.
You coming, Bells?
I guess. And I follow.
Okay. She closes the iron gate behind you, and as she walks in front of you, behind you, you hear the gate lock again. She turns around to look at you. Edward and Bellamy. As her eyes fall on you, you recognize her, and you remember being in this library before. But the librarian looked very different. But you do remember looking into a book and seeing something unusual. But you don't quite remember what that was.
So I'm sorry, ma'am. How is our history going to be in some restricted section of a library? I've never been here before.
When she says that, Bellamy, you remember the book and the book having your photos in it.
But Clara wasn't in the photos, right?
Just as far as you know, all you've
Right.
seen is you and Edward.
But wasn't there somebody that looked like Todd, but from the backside or something? Okay.
Yeah.
Just double checking. Sorry.
I am having the weirdest deja vu. I think that we have been here before. At least definitely Edward and I, possibly Todd, and I look at Edward.
Wait, you remember that too?
Yeah, there was a book and we were in like old pictures.
What are you talking about?
It's I
Your
don't know. It's like
history.
a dream. I think we might have been here before.
Well, if it's a
Haven't.
The old woman just begins walking and allows you to talk amongst yourselves. She climbs up a she climbs up a ladder and pulls down a large book. It has a number 7 on it. And there are a lot of different symbols, and there's even like areas where it looks like there may have been something valuable, maybe like a jewel or something that's actually been picked off. And she hands it to Clara.
I will kind of look at it, puzzled for a second, and then open it up to the first page.
She sets her hand down on the first page. Miss Clara, you won't find yourself in the photos here, but trust that you are there. Just, well, in a state of learning. And she pulls her hand back.
What? This this doesn't make any sense.
As you flip the pages, you see a lot of these records, and they look very much like the logs that you've been signing every single day. Different names. The script is a little bit different. And then you get to the first photo. And it looks like this sepia toned, like, I don't know, carnival festival type photo where you and all of your friends apparently were at some point, because your names are listed underneath the photo. And you see Edward, Bellamy, Todd, and even Darius together in this photo.
And I'm not in the picture.
You are not there, though your name is underneath the photo.
Is this some kind of joke? I mean, guys, look at this. Did Darius create this somehow?
That
Wait.
is pretty elaborate.
Wait, I don't remember this picture. When
Yeah.
was this?
I don't. Well, apparently I wasn't there, but my name's listed.
Well, what if you were taking the photo?
That makes sense.
Right?
That.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Thanks. I thought I was losing my mind. That makes. Except I don't remember taking it.
Where is this?
A quick glance at the landscape behind you leads you to believe that you are standing over the cliff where Malsado Lago is currently, but it's just looking into the Hudson Bay.
Could I roll a photography and try to determine if it's my photography style or if it looks like it's somehow been faked
Okay,
or something like that?
sure.
Okay. I'm going to add a point to it.
It's only going to be a 2, so
I'll save my points. Huh, and that was a 2.
okay. You don't think that this is necessarily your style. You probably would not have had a dead photo. You would have probably offset them just a little bit. But it seems like the photo is very portrait-like, and you typically don't do portraits. You like to capture people in the element and make it more aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
Although it does not look like it's been faked.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Librarian? I didn't catch your name. I don't understand what I'm looking at.
Hold on just one second. I'm very sorry. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. It's a wool sweater and it's making static all over me.
Disco.
I love that shirt.
Thank you. My name is Ezra.
Ezra. Okay. Why are there pictures that we don't remember?
I found them. I don't necessarily have to explain them, but uh, this whole library, well, this section rather, is about you, your friends, your adventures.
Our adventures? You mean like our D&D games?
There is a book about that, though it's unfinished.
I'm gonna kind of flip through some more pages and just kind of glance at the pictures.
You notice that as you flip through the pictures, you see your friends begin to age. You see as Bellamy specifically begins to get more tired. She seems to always have like a worried expression. Edward, on the other hand, seems to age much slower than the rest of the group, though not ageless. You just notice that maybe his hair goes a little bit lighter, but overall, you don't notice any slumping of the shoulders, no gut or gaining of weight, loss of weight.
And is Darius in the pictures throughout?
He is.
Yeah, traffic.
You're good.
You guys need to look at these pictures. I don't know what to make of this. Well, it's like some big joke or something. Like, I don't know how someone could have staged this. These pictures aren't fake. I mean, I would know a photograph that's been faked. They're real.
I'm sorry, go ahead. The librarian begins climbing up the ladder, and you notice that as she's climbing the ladder, she's quite spry, not moving with the aged slowness in which she led you to this restricted area. And she pulls down 3 more books, and she hands Bellamy a number 4. She hands Edward a number 5, and she hands Todd a number 6.
Okay, but listen. We wouldn't need an introduction to the island and to all this stuff if we were here before. Right? I mean, why would it all be new to us?
I don't. Didn't you say you remembered things?
Okay, but
like crazy deja vu, like.
But it was all new then too. I mean, it kind of like redid revisiting it or something. But we weren't here originally because we couldn't have been.
Were we? Are these numbers like the numbers of times we've been here?
Bellamy has opened her book and has started like going through the pages, and I'm looking for pictures.
Okay. You see colorful photos, and not necessarily photos. Let me take that back. You see colorful paintings. Your book is gilded and it has really intricate details. One of the paintings is of you, and you seem to be like floating in the Hudson Bay. And it's just you by yourself. As you flip to the next page, you see a painting of you bringing water to people. You're helping like a group of, I guess, really malnourished people. As you flip further and further along, you meet up with your friends, but first you come in contact with Darius. And there's a photo of you standing tastefully nude, and then Darius standing over you, and you're both looking at each other. And then you have the next painting, which includes Edward, another painting which includes Todd, and then another one that includes Clara. You notice that as your paintings go on, that the artist is painting you in a different fashion, except Darius. Darius is totally the same. He looks exactly the same in every set of photos and every painting that you've looked at of him. He looks exactly the same. And contrary to Clara's book, you see that Edward is aging along with you. And I don't know that you've looked at Clara's book, but I'm just saying for the player's knowledge, you would notice that about Edward, were you to look at both.
I think I would walk back over to Clara. Can we switch books? We should all look at these books.
Yeah, is there a table? Can we set them all out in one place?
The librarian turns around and says, "You may follow me to the study." And she walks to this really cozy looking room with a small round table. And there are 6 chairs. And she sits at one of them and motions for you to sit anywhere you like. But you feel as though there's one chair in particular that's your spot.
I sit down in the chair that's familiar to me and I start going through my book.
Mm-hmm. I do the same, but I switch books with Clara.
Okay.
Yeah.
Edward, as you look through your book, you notice that it's annotated with a lot of medical jargon. And you have all of these formulas, and then there are photos of you, and they're photos of you finishing medical school. And then you're with a lot of children, and a lot of the children look like they have serious deformities. And then when you flip the page, you see those same children, but their faces or their limbs have been restored. You notice that as you flip through your book, you see Bellamy, you see Clara, you see Todd. And in your book, none of you age. You all stay the same. until the very last book, or I'm sorry, until the very last page. And you see a very crude pencil drawing of Todd. And then it looks like he's unable to control his hands or his limbs. But then there's just a scribble at the end. It says, failure at Todd.
Classic Todd. Does the handwriting look familiar to me?
It does. The handwriting is spot on for your friend Darius.
Are you guys seeing this?
Yeah. Don't know what I'm seeing, but this is weird.
After everything that's happened to us, we have to get away from the thought that this is still some elaborate joke that Darius has put together for us. There are pictures of us together in places that I've never been before. And some of it feels familiar to me.
Todd, I very quietly open my book and start flipping through the pages looking for any reference of Lily.
You don't find a reference to Lily in your book.
Okay, guys, I think... I don't really have proof of this, but seeing what we're seeing here, I think I know what's happening.
Oh, by all means, please explain.
Okay, so you know how I wasn't entirely honest about that bird thing that happened?
Yeah.
Well,
Uh-huh.
basically, she told me that she was a time traveler. And so I was worried about telling you guys because, like mess up the timeline and stuff. But look, obviously we must meet up with her and then go back in time or something. And that's why we haven't done it yet. We're gonna do it later. That makes sense, right?
Oh, my brain.
Wait, you're saying these pictures in these books haven't happened yet?
They haven't happened yet for us, but we did
Oh.
them in the past. We just haven't gone to the past yet.
So in the book that Bellamy has now, the one I started reading, Edward wasn't aging as much as everyone else. And then in these paintings, it looks like everybody's aging, but Darius isn't. So maybe like we're going to different times at different times in our own
Well, I
timeline.
don't know about that, but so the bird person was Lily, right? So I just kind of
Yeah.
quickly went through this book looking for any mention of her, but I didn't see any. So we should really look through the books for any reference to her. Because that should prove this, right?
Maybe.
Or I don't know, it's a stab in the dark.
Yeah. So Ezra also told us about the manifests. The people came from another time or place.
Correct. The people from another time and place are from another universe altogether.
Oh my god. So now we're talking multiverse and time travel. Okay.
She begins wheeling in an old school chalkboard.
Okay.
Wait, so what you're saying is these manifests are some form of time travel trafficking?
Precisely.
Oh boy.
But what is the purpose of this trafficking?
She draws an oval in the center of the chalkboard. And she writes cat.
But cats don't lay eggs.
And then she draws a circle next to it, and she writes bird. You see, young man, we're here. And she points to the circle. And there never existed. But it did. I lived there for many years. And now it's gone.
Did we live there too?
No, you've never lived there. You've always been here. You've been creating here.
What do you mean creating?
You've been dreaming this world. You've been living this world. You and your dog are the only ones that have been here before the rest of us.
Clem?
Wait. Edward's dog?
Yes. As far as I can tell.
Well, that's
She's the reason I was able to come to you.
That's the Lily's master. That's what she said.
That makes sense.
Oh man, this is a bit much to take in.
The world of the cats was destroyed.
Wait, why?
Various reasons, but mostly meddling.
With the space-time continuum.
Mostly just idiots.
So these people that came to our world were escaping a dead planet, or
Yes, a dead planet, a angry god, angry gods. And they were saved by a woman. And I'm not quite sure of her name. She saved me too.
Well, okay. So what are we supposed to do with this information? I mean, we're not supposed to know the future, right? That's not a good thing.
But don't you understand? You're supposed to know the past. And you don't know the past.
why is that? I mean, if you're saying that we've lived these lives and these adventures, why don't we remember them?
Have you ever heard the story of the Adam and the Eve?
Yeah, I've heard that story.
You've just not eaten the fruit.
What?
Of knowledge?
If you want to retain it, it's not so much the knowledge, it's the retaining.
Are you talking in metaphors or like we need to eat fruit? Like
You should always eat fruit. It keeps you regular.
oh, okay, yeah, but this knowledge fruit, is that a real thing or
Absolutely not. That's
okay.
complete horse hockey.
Okay.
I just imagined horses playing hockey.
Oh, gosh.
That's a great mental image.
The door to the library opens up. Please excuse me.
Okay.
You hear the iron gate open, close, but no lock.
Bellamy, you've been kind of quiet. Are you here with us?
I don't know. I don't think I understand what she's trying to tell us. And I'm looking around at all of the open books, like eyes glazed over. I don't get it.
You and me both.
So all of this is real?
I think it has to be.
I mean, there's pictures.
Well, and you've had memories of other things, so I guess there's precedence for this kind of weird stuff.
So we've just lived 1,000 lives.
Or we will? I'm not an expert on time travel.
So, do you think that's where Darius went?
Oh.
Where?
Like forward
To
or
an-
backward in
Back
time,
in
or
the past? I
or-
mean, with
or
pictures of
another.
him.
Why would he leave us, though? Is this not gonna work out?
Well,
Is it already wrong? Did
well,
we
no, 'cause
screw something up?
he's in the
Wait.
pictures with us, so we obviously see him again,
But
but not in the present.
It seemed like he left for a reason when he left. I don't. Like he had to go for some important reason. I don't think he just.
so in these books, all of them, was he here the entire time? Can we see him throughout the history of the book with us? Or is he gone?
He seemed to be in the one with the photographs, but I wasn't in that one.
And he was in the one with the paintings.
Was he in the other two?
I didn't actually look for that.
Do you think the numbers have any correlation? We have books 4 through 7. I look up on the bookshelf where Ezra found the books. Are 1, 2, 3, or 8 and above available of the same series of books?
Yeah, you have 1 through 13 that are on that shelf, and then it goes to the next shelf, and you see 14 through 28, and then another and another, and the aisle just goes on. If you walk along, you'll see that there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of volumes.
I would like to pick the 4th volume on the 6th bookcase, second shelf.
Okay, you do so. Its numbers are in the hundreds, and it is blank. The pages are pristine. The edge is gold. It has no dust. It has no wear.
Wait. So we
This
haven't
is
gotten to that one yet?
Oh, my brain.
I gather all 4 books. I place them on the table, and I'm looking at them as I kind of flip through each page of the book. Is there what seems like a timeline for each of the books? And are they individual differing timelines? If that makes sense.
So let's roll something for this.
I was just pulling up these skills.
Library use.
Library use would be fine.
I have library use.
Let me see. Where is it?
I have interrogation. Can I use that on the books?
I have flattery. I would like to flatter the books.
Okay. Now, just because you don't have a number in something does not mean that you cannot use that. It means that you cannot add a point value to it. You can always use that, okay? So anyone that would like to use history, library use, occult, anthropology, archaeology, photography, may do so.
I will give history a go.
Okay. Edward, are there any of those that you want to try, since this is kind of your...
No, I mean, unfortunately, I'm not skilled in any of those. I'll probably refer to one of my friends.
Now, you can still... If you're trying to find that correlation, you can absolutely do that. You do not have to have skill points in it.
I don't have skill points in history, but I'm giving it a go anyway.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I guess I would probably try to use history as well, but I think Bellamy could go first.
Okay. Anybody else gonna throw a skill in here?
I'd like-
Oh, go ahead.
I'd like to do library use, but before I do it, I'd like to grab book 1 off the shelf and
Okay.
add it to the table.
Okay.
I would like to roll occult.
Okay.
Because it's mystical time travel-y stuff.
Sure.
Timey-wimey stuff. If
Great.
What was
Wibbly
the
wobbly.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
what was the 4th skill?
You could do anthropology.
Sure.
Actually, you could probably do geology too. That would be fine. Yeah. Okay, so let's do a library use first.
Okay. I'm going to add a point to
okay.
that.
You're looking for a 4 or higher here.
Okay. It's a 5 plus 1, so 6.
Okay. Perfect. Clara grabs all of these books. So she has 1 4, 5, 6, and 7. And she begins finding a timeline in here. So kind of hearing Edward's thoughts of, we need to find where these correlate. She kind of puts these in a big circle, and while the pages are very different, they may differ by anywhere between 25 to 100 pages off, but she finds the first image of almost everyone in the group. Now, her book 7, doesn't have any of her in it. So she picks the one where most of you are in there. And the general feeling of the photographs, the paintings, and the sketches are a meeting of all 4. Except for book 1.
I'm sorry, when you say a meeting of all 4.
Oh, sorry.
I mean,
A meeting of all 5 of you.
oh, people.
In book 1, you see a brief history of your friend Darius. And it feels like less of a memory album, which is kind of what a lot of the others feel like, and more of a diary or a journal. And it's written in 2 hands. So there's Darius's handwriting, which you recognize completely. And then you see handwriting from another person whose handwriting you don't recognize at all. And they just seem to be writing back and forth. But then towards, I would say, like the first quarter of this book, you'll see that they just start finishing each other's sentences. And as you read, you never get names. You never see that anyone calls themselves Darius. But you see a love emerge between Darius and this other person. And you come to understand that Darius is simply a leader, and the person that he's writing with is his protege. At the very end of this book, you see this person write this really long and upset letter about him losing touch. He's too upset about things that are happening off-world, and he can't stay in the present. And this person is going to leave, regardless of what he thinks, regardless of what he does to her. And then she says, but he'll need something and someone to watch over him to make sure that he stays sane. And that's their last entry. And then you watch as Darius reads this. And he writes out his own response. And it just seems to be like this, pouring of his mind onto paper as he kind of deals with this breakup. And then he says, that's it. I'm throwing myself into the sea, and I'll let it take me. And that's where that book ends. There are no photos, just journal entries. Bellamy. You only need to roll a 3 or higher in history.
All right. 5.
Okay. Instead of paying so much attention to the photos, you begin reading a lot of the text that's under these photos. And you see that there's a lot of explanation in what's happening. And you see that in number 7, Darius's handwriting says, Claire's abilities have become apparent, but she can't control them. We only know that she's there because she speaks or walks behind us. I wish that I could help my friend.
Sorry. I was going to ask if you read that out loud.
No, I am probably reading this over as we go. And I think when I come across that, I'm going to sit back in my chair for a minute and then slowly turn the page and keep that information to myself for now to not upset everybody while we're in the middle of this, but I will bring it back up later, is my plan.
As Bellamy represses her feelings and just sort of needs to cover this up a little bit, Todd, you feel something kind of just nagging on your shoulder. It feels like when you burst through the door in the mayor's office for some really weird reason.
Guys?
Yeah?
You know all that really weird and scary crap that happened?
Yeah.
I feel like it's happening again.
Bellamy, you know that sense of being hidden just sort of disappear from you. It's not as though you're going to say anything. It's just the emotion completely flees from your mind, body, soul, spirit, whatever.
I'm sorry, you roboted. Can you repeat the first part of that?
Nah, just kidding.
Cool.
Ah!
As Todd is explaining this, you actually feel this feeling of hiding information, of needing to hide that information, just dissipate. And not necessarily dissipate, but almost being pulled away from you and in the direction of Todd. You don't feel like you need to say anything to anyone. You don't feel like you're going to spill the beans or anything like that. You just feel the emotion drain away from you.
So just to clarify, I don't feel like what I just read is upsetting anymore.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just like a static whatever about it, just flatline.
Yeah.
Okay. So my expression will just change on my face and I'll go back to reading and looking for more about that.
Okay. Edward, On anthropology, I just need you to roll a 2 or higher.
6.
Nice.
Jesus Christ. Can I give you for that? Let me get into my notes.
I interrogate the book.
You are looking at the people in the photographs and paintings, not necessarily your people, but the people of the island. And you notice that in the early volumes, there aren't a lot of people at all. But you'll notice that there is someone with you all the time. There's someone at a campsite with you, and he's cooking. And then you see this person carrying bags for you. And then you stumble on to a photo in Todd's book where this person is decorating a wedding cake. And as you flip to the next page, you see your friend Leo in a photo very proudly standing beside this giant wedding cake.
Am I able to figure out who the wedding cake was for?
Sure. You flip the next page and you see Clara in this beautiful flowing wedding gown. It isn't a traditional wedding gown at all. It's not like flowing white or anything, but just all of her favorite colors, and she looks stunning. And you see yourself waiting at the end of this aisle as though you're the groom. But you're at the very end of this book. And you flip to the next page very quickly to just see what happens, because how can this be the end of the book? That doesn't make any sense. And that's where Darius's scribblings are. The failure was Todd.
Is there any more information or scribblings at the end of this book?
There's not. That is book 6. You could look at book 7.
I first go back to the page prior and just kind of soak everything in. Is there anything else other than myself and Clara in this scene that I can pick up on?
You see a lot of the same people that are in other volumes in this book as well. So it doesn't seem like you're the only ones that are repeating. The culture and the people themselves are repeating with you. So it's not that Leo's descendants are coming along with you. It's Leo. And you're unclear as to whether or not they remember that. In the last photo, you do notice... Hold on, there is a goddamn mosquito in front of me. God damn it, God damn it.
Suspense.
Mosquitoes.
Get it. Get it.
Get it?
Okay. In the last photo, you notice that there are some people in the crowd that look angry. And you notice Todd in the photo standing beside you. Seems to be like sweating bullets, looks unwell. And Darius beside him looking very concerned.
Do I feel any emotions when I see this? Like, is there a familiarity or like a longing upon looking at these pictures?
High or low for favorable results? Actually, who knows which is favorable? High for yes, low for no.
Wait, is he supposed to say which is which?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you kind of just said it.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Roshi, make me not sound like an idiot. High or low for an emotional connection to these photos?
Definitely high.
Okay. 63.
I sit there for a moment and I look at these pictures and just really soak it in, looking at myself at the end of the aisle and Clara in a wedding dress. And I think there's something like somewhere in the back of my mind, or maybe not even a thought or in the mind, but a feeling that just pulls at me. And then I quickly go to the seventh book and I look at the beginning of that book.
Before the photos start, there are small little scribblings in the margin. One of them says, I'm so sorry, this fucking mosquito keeps like flying toward my eye.
If it isn't trucks, it's mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
No kidding.
In the margins, you see Darius's handwriting talking about controlling Todd and it being very important to be next to him. Hopefully, his two friends can find each other again, find happiness again. But he doesn't necessarily say that he's going to facilitate that. It seems that in some cases, Darius is very pro free will, and in other instances, he is not.
Do I get a feeling from his notes that there's almost like a reset? It's not a continuation of the story from book 6, but something altogether different?
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, you'll notice that even the topography of the island seems different. So as you're looking at maps of St. Paxton, there are areas where there used to be a huge valley. And then in the next book, it's not that at all, but it's the same location. So something about this island changes and resets. It's not just you, but St. Paxton itself seems to be malleable.
I take a huge chunk of this book, number 7, pages in my hand, and I just start flipping through the pages, looking for pictures, anything to show me a picture of what I saw at the end of book 6. Is there anything that continues the story for myself and Clara?
Clara is missing from all of the photos, but there are photos of you, and you'll be kind of separated from the group, and you'll be laughing. You'll look very happy. But Clara's not there, but you do seem to be engaged in conversation or talking to nothing at all. And then there are times when there will be a photograph and everyone else seems very happy, and you'll kind of be a little forlorn. Without Clara in the picture, it's just difficult to tell what happened between you.
Without saying anything, I'll look over at Clara and almost kind of like hesitantly want to make sure she's there. And then I'll look at Todd as well. Is there any feelings or emotions that come up when I look at either of them? More so than normal?
I'll actually leave that to you. You can decide how you feel about that situation.
I think I have concerns, especially after what I read about Todd, as I look upon him. And in the back of my mind, I have a strong desire of learning more about what happened at the end of book 6. But I keep that to myself.
Okay. Who's standing beside Edward? Who's standing beside Edward? Or sitting, rather.
Probably me.
You'll be able to see the photos that he's flipping through. So you'll kind of be able to catch a lot of the things that he is seeing. I'd like you to tell me what your thoughts or feelings about what you've seen and what you've kind of pieced together are for you.
Do I see the wedding pictures? Specifically the ones with me in the wedding dress.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I'm not usually one to face my feelings. So I think as I see that, I'm going to kind of pretend like I'm still looking through a book while I'm trying to piece things together in my brain. And I think it's going to take me a little bit to process it.
Okay.
Like I'll probably be kind of glancing at Edward to see how he's reacting, but I wouldn't say anything right away.
Perfect. Todd, I forgot what you were doing.
Occult. Yeah.
Yeah. Todd, you see something different in book 6.
A few extra 6s, maybe.
Ah.
You want to roll it first, or?
Yeah, for sure. You roll me a 3 or higher.
Alrighty, here it goes. That's a 3.
Okay. Todd, as you go through the books and you're all sort of just passing them around in a circle, as you get to book 6, you see what happens. And as you get to the end of book 6, you realize you've been looking for something or someone, but there was something on the island that was giving off some kind of a negative or hurtful energy. And you see in the crowd people that are wearing necklaces that look similar to the scratch and the scar that were on Clara's cheek. You see people in the background holding hands at a time when it would be very weird or inappropriate to hold hands. You see the same people over and over in the far, far background of these photos, not engaging in anything that's happening in the photo, but watching your group of friends. And they don't look happy. In fact, they look quite angry. And at the wedding, they're all sitting in one row, holding hands. You have a memory, a flashback. You remember being there. It smelled like a crazy amount of flowers. And you remember thinking, it's too many flowers. And you even asked Bellamy, that's too many flowers, right? And she would say, it's absolutely not too many flowers. And plus, this is Clara and Edward's day. It's not about you. So get off of it. And you're like, but isn't it too much? And as you stand beside Edward, you piece it together. There are more flowers than are supposed to be there. Because you smell a chemical. And you piece things together. And it wasn't you. Although maybe it was you at the very last minute. But you suddenly felt this burst of energy. Like you could pull anything to you and push it back. But was it you? Or was it them? You weren't sure. The next thing you knew, you were fishing. And then you kind of snap back to.
Is anyone else getting any thoughts or anything off of these books?
Nope, not really. Nope. Confused. Just. Yeah, anybody else see anything interesting?
Todd, you immediately recognize Clara's tone of voice, the way that she's saying things, the speed at which she's saying them, as being the exact same as when you were trying to forcibly get her to talk about her parents at the D&D table. The rest of you would probably notice as well.
Clara, Snow White and the Seven Flights, all over again.
What? You're saying they're classic stories?
No.
There's no beer in them, so.
Never mind. Okay, but there is this little detail that I find a little frightening. Look, do you see these necklaces? Like, if you look really closely at these kind of like pissed off people, I don't know. They just look unhappy, maybe angry, I don't know. But look at around the neck.
Oh.
Haven't we seen that somewhere?
I'm gonna subconsciously put my hand up to my cheek and feel the scar.
What?
That's gotta be coincidence, right?
I mean, that's... I don't think that's coincidence. That has to be... That has to have a meaning.
That's weird. It was a scratch.
V, does Clara have that scar in any of these photos?
She does not.
But you don't have that in these. Not that I've seen.
Huh.
Is there a way to remove that, or okay? I'm gonna ask a really weird question, okay? And just tell me if I just should shut up.
Okay.
Can you put like makeup over that?
Oh my god, Todd.
Is that a
It's
thing?
really not that noticeable, Clara. I promise. Todd!
Thank you. I was a little
God.
worried it was.
But now, this necklace thing, do any of you remember currently anybody we've dealt with wearing them? And maybe that's a symbol that we need to like look up. I know it's just a scratch, but there's history here of things that did or didn't happen or whatever. Maybe the scratch, maybe this started something. Maybe this is here somewhere.
Well, we're in a library. What better place to look something up, right?
We should probably ask Ezra. Where is she, anyways?
How can I help you?
Oh,
Oh,
holy.
Wow.
Oh.
So we were just discussing, I guess, different symbols or markings. Would you happen to have books on symbols or markings that meant something to the island or the people here?
like this one, for instance, and I'll point at my cheek.
She looks at your cheek, of course, and she walks to a small box. Goddamn mosquito.
Oh my god.
There's
The
mosquitoes
mosquito
in
is
there?
killing me. Why are you keeping a mosquito in the box? That's the true question.
It's a weird thing to put in the box, Ezra.
I got it!
Woo!
I just want oh my god. It's a monster.
It was.
I mean, you're in Texas.
Look at how
so-
big that is.
Ew.
Ew.
Yeah, no.
No.
Thank you.
Too big.
I like
Have
how you
you-
intimidate your dead mosquito.
Have you ever done the thing where like you allow the mosquito to like land on your arm and then
Oh.
you
And then
like
you
flex?
pucker it?
Yeah, you
Yes.
like flex
Stretch
and then
the
you just
skin.
like pump. Yeah, like pump blood into their bodies.
And then they
They
pop.
can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explode.
I
No,
did
I
that
will
that's
just
now.
the once.
I would get a goddamn mosquito bite, and I fucking hate mosquito bites.
I did it once just to see if it was a legitimate thing you could do, and then I haven't done it since.
Was it?
Yeah, you can make it. It gets stuck in there, and then you put
You
in
could-
it.
Does it kill it?
Well, it fucking
I mean-
explodes.
It's too much. It's
then
too
it
much
flies
for
away,
the
it's
tiny
okay.
bug body.
I mean, it does have a high constitution score, so.
Y'all making my goddamn night today. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I can't wait to try this kind of murder.
Oh.
Jesus Christ! What the fuck have we done?
Oh,
Wait till
no.
it happens to you.
I was about to say.
Hero,
Later
can you
on.
edit that clip for me?
Right? I would love
Just
that
in
sound
case
bite.
for evidence.
I can't wait to try this kind of murder. Look, see, Your Honor.
Can I make that my ringtone?
Patreon exclusive.
I feel like that's the perfect kind of ringtone for literally anywhere in public. Like your mom's calling you and you're in line at the bank, and all of a sudden everybody hears, "I can't wait to try that kind of murder."
What's
good.
the worst that could happen?
And then you pick up the phone, you're like, "What's up, Mom?"
What was I saying?
There's a box.
Ezra's going for a
The
box.
box.
Yes.
Of course she
with
is.
mosquitoes
Full of
in it.
mosquitoes.
Don't give her ideas.
Wait, is the box
Ezra-
made out of mesquite?
Shush! I'm trying to build the moment. Quiet, boy.
Ooh, Ezra.
I thought it was
No,
young
thank
me.
you.
Not anymore.
Confound your toe. Sorry. Ezra walks over to a small shelf and she pulls out a drawer. And inside the drawer, she lifts out a small mirrored box. And she very carefully comes and places it on the table in front of you. And she opens the box. Inside, you see 3 necklaces with long chains that have this symbol carved out of stone, metal, and wood. And that's what we're going to call it.
I instinctively move in front of Todd.
I throw the box.
Incorrect. All of you are incorrect.
Why would I throw a jewelry box?
You know, damn it. You know. Holy shit.
For science.
Did everyone have a good time?
Yes.
Good.
But why?
Why the
why
library
did
could
you-
be so fun?
All right. Why didn't we come here to start with?
I
I
don't
blame
know.
Todd. I blame
I
Todd.
don't fucking know.
What?
Well,
my
in our
God.
defense, we did go to the library once and we were reset.
True.
Fair. Because
Yeah.
Stacy wouldn't go to sleep like a good girl.
Stacy doesn't know how to sleep.
Real quick, the picture that had the group of angry people holding hands with the symbol necklaces, was that the wedding picture?
Sure
'Cause-
was.
Mm-hmm.
So then everybody has seen that picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Who invited those creeps to my wedding?
Probably Todd.
Todd.
It'll be the talk of the town.
So I'm like trying to wrap my head around this because like the references of Clara being like the invisible girl and then now
Mhm.
Todd possibly having like powers of like what is it? Telekinesis when you can move stuff with your mind?
Yeah.
Is
Or is
it
that
physical
telepathy?
objects or is it emotions
Yeah,
and
I
like
don't know.
feelings and stuff?
Ooh, you're both a little close.
Yeah.
Little column
So
A,
his
little
his
column
flavor
B.
is a little bit different, but it's same idea, different things.
Yeah.
Ow.
So
Anyone
yeah,
else have any ideas about their own secret powers?
hell no. I mean, not mine.
Can
I'm the
GM.
invisible girl.
I'm assuming that Edwards is gonna be like
Power of plastic surgery.
Well, no, because
No.
he fixed those kids.
it's aging. It's something to do with like
No.
bodies
Ew.
and stuff, and like
Maybe I'm Benjamin Button.
non-aging and
Like,
like
look at his face.
I wish I'd thought of that.
Oh, no.
I would love it if in my notes, because I have all of your little things here, I would love it if in my notes it was Edward Benjamin Button. Like, God damn it, that's not my truth.
What I love is that in the, what is it called, the prologue, like where we did those scenes, there is just like that tiny hint of like something between Clara and Edward, and
Mhm.
seeing that picture just like tugged at my heartstrings. I was like, oh my God, like
Mhm.
that was because there was something between them in another life or in the past. And how would I deal with that information? Like, am I shy? Is it like, do I not want to reveal this to other people? Like, you know, like how am I going to
Yeah.
approach this in episodes to come? You know, and so I'm really excited about that. There's something
Yeah.
really like, I don't know, fun about that.
And this
Yeah.
might actually force Clara to discuss her feelings.
Yeah. It's
Not
interesting
good.
because
Todd
I
will
don't
be
think-
there waiting.
Okay, oh, that's another thing. And then I had this like animosity towards Todd because I feel like he ruined my wedding. Like,
God,
What?
we had this beautiful wedding.
with so many flowers.
So many pretty flowers. I liked all the flowers.
oh, so much fun.
I just couldn't imagine going around like, but there's too many. Like, what? What do you mean? There's too many goddamn flowers.
And Bellamy being like, Todd, shut up.
It's not about you, Todd. No, it's not about me. It's about the goddamn flowers. There's too many.
Stuffed his ass in a fucking closet somewhere. Gods. Where's Todd? It's fine. He'll see the fucking video later. Or pictures. He'll see
That's why he
pictures.
was
Todd will
sweating.
see
He was
this happening.
pulled him out of a
I
closet.
have another question. There
Mhm.
was a very tasteful picture of Bellamy naked with Darius.
Yeah, what the hell?
There sure was. There sure was.
Was it
And then there
artsy? Like,
She
Then
said
there were more
tastefully
people.
nude.
Were we all nude?
Tastefully nude? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, of course you're all nude. Listen, everyone's
For
got to have a
weird
nudist
wedding
phase.
photo.
Okay.
I mean, if you have your own island, don't you at least once want to have the nudist island? Like, at least just once. Try it out. See what happens.
Well, like an area on the island, maybe, but not.
Yeah. Long enough to get a painting of it, you know.
Listen, I am Darius. I am the golden god, and we had it.
God,
okay?
I don't want to sit
God
in any of the
damn.
furniture in Masato Lago anymore.
okay,
Nope.
another question.
Hard no. Okay.
The
your
entire time I'm thinking, we meet Darius in this like fantastical setting on a beach. He's injured and it brings us all together. Like, are these memories real? Are we just these greater beings and, you know, we're reliving cycles of our lives? Like, are we our past selves and our current selves are not legitimate? Like, there's so much that's going through my mind as this unfolds, and I keep coming back. I hate referencing stuff, but like the show, I don't even want to say it, but the show Lost has this like interesting concept about how the island is a character, and that's how I see Saint Paxton. But I don't know if it's a bad island or a good one.
This
I'm
is
like
really
so
all purgatory.
yeah, I'm like afraid to scratch the surface because I'm afraid to find out when I find out. But oh man, it's so exciting. I'm really enjoying this. And I like, do we have superpowers? Like, what's my superpower? Like, can you just tell me?
When do I
Like,
get my superpower?
yeah, like everybody else knows what their superpower is.
Bellamy doesn't, so.
No, I have no idea.
Well, when she was
Maybe yours will be
tastefully
rescuing me.
I turned water into water.
Whoa.
I will say that I have had these superpowers and all of these things picked out for you since I want to say August
Oh,
of
damn.
last year. And I was like, okay. And this is where the story's going.
Oh my
So
gosh.
what I'm hearing is steer it further in the opposite direction as soon as possible.
That's
For
fair.
science.
Listen,
We're science.
bitch, I got all these blank books.
I
have
was
seen
so tempted to like
Oh.
pick one up and start writing in it just to see what would happen.
Oh.
Fucking
Oh, that's
Ezra
actually
busts
a
through the
great
door
idea.
and kicks your ass. Like
No.
with speed out of nowhere. Like you
Young
didn't even
man,
see it happen.
What are you doing?
Like
She's just
Todd,
standing over top of you.
Todd
was
writes
here.
into the book, and Todd's rippling muscles, and then all of a sudden, like, Todd just like, and like he's just like his shirt's too tight.
All
Or
right.
it's just
so
like
this
stretch marks because it hasn't quite happened yet, or maybe it did before. Who knows?
Oh, time is
God,
so
you
weird.
can't give Todd a power like that.
It's
No.
weird here.
fucking
No.
Todd would be like out among the town with a book in his hand and a pen, like hiding around corners, and he'd be like, and then the man tripped and broke his leg, and then it fixed itself, but it was wrong and backwards, and he would just watch as it
Oh.
happened.
Wow.
Ugh.
What?
See,
Todd is the bad guy in the
I could
anime Death Note.
yeah.
No.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Is he
That's
light?
his superpower.
Yeah,
Oh fuck, you're light.
it's terrible. But no, that's not going to happen for you. I
Oh.
didn't feel from
My
that.
hopes and dreams.
Any more questions, comments, crippling fears?
Well, I'm not going to tell you the last one.
I mean, so many questions, but we're not going to get answers right now.
Okay.
But there's episode 16 to come.
Yeah. I'll see
Probably
you guys.
Stop this recording.
2 weeks. Oh shit!
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm a typical Veronica.
Wait, are we doing
Bye,
that?
stream.
We don't do that anymore.
I'm at definitely Stacy.
No,
And I'm the one being Lane.
damn it!
I'm at Stacy's mom.
No. You gotta retweet her tweet. She's got it going on. And stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Save project
All right.
as.
Bye, stream.
Bye.
Stream.
Yeah.